It's not about the number of programming languages that you know. It's all about the quality of how you master each languages. What can I advise to new programmers or aspiring programmers? Hello guys, this is May, your wandering boss. And before I get into my advice to aspiring programmers or junior programmers, let me give you a quick background about my day job. And I know that I am very much passionate in this channel about talking about cybersecurity and also traveling, financial freedom, and one of those things that I'm very much passionate about is around data. It's because my day job is I am a data professional, or I come with a different name, my job title. Officially, I am a business intelligence solution manager, but the remit really sometimes called a data analyst, a data professional, or ETL developer, your extract, your transform, your load developer, or SQL developer. So we come at different names, but all it comes down to is around data. Now, what does that mean from being a programmer? Well, you see, when you are a data professional, you need to be able to pick any software or programming languages. And one of them very commonly used if you are dealing with data is SQL, or the structured query language. It's a very common language used when you are interrogating a database or structured data. There's also very familiar and very commonly used for analysis is Python and R, and also from a developer perspective or from a programming perspective, you need to be able to pick new languages or programming languages as the technology evolves. This is where I really want to share my first-hand experience being in the industry as a programmer, as a data professional for over a decade now, and advise those junior programmers or aspiring ones if you want to go through the route or path of being a programmer. Number one, understand your why. Now, this may seem very obvious to you, but it's really important why you even want to be a programmer, why you want to learn computing language. Is it because you have a natural skill, or you're curious and you really want to do coding? And coding is something easy in your skin, and you are not frightened of learning computing languages in a way that is very much jargon and not commonly used in the general population. And you are very much patient when it comes to understanding troubleshooting computer error, and you are not shying away from those, then maybe programming language is for you. But where it comes down to is understanding your why. Now, there is a reason for it. Regardless of what you're learning, understanding your why will actually get you through the tough terrain or the hurdles that you may face along the way as you continue to learn about new things or about a new programming language. Understanding the why is really critical. Otherwise, if you are just doing it out of the whim, then when you are faced by challenges, it's not your reason to continue to learn. It will not be enough for you to push through the hurdles. So know your why. That's the first one. The next advice that I can give to aspiring programmers or junior developers is learn the fundamentals. Learn the basic. Do not learn all programming language at once. If you can hear, oh, Python is great, R is great, or let me go ahead and learn Java as well, or C programming, or C++, or C Sharp, or let me learn PHP, or let me learn about Bash. Well, here's the thing. Even though if you learn all of them at once, you will never retain one of them. The reason being for that is learning a new competing language takes a lot of your brain power. These are not common language like an English. Some of them might be English, but majority of the syntax, they are not readable easily to common population. You need to be able to understand and have a tenacity for it to really push through and read some uncomfortable protocols, meaning standard ways of writing that is not English. And some of them, even though if they're in English, they don't make sense grammatically. So that is the reason why that you really need to learn the fundamentals, because there is a pattern when you are learning a programming language. There will always be the syntax that you need to learn, and also the semantics, the critical thinking, the logical thinking of applying a problem solution type of scenario, where only you can do that through exposure and experience. Now, once you learn one programming language, it will be easy for you to pick any programming language. So you really need to learn the basic, learn the fundamentals, what are the terminology that you really need to learn, and have a structured way of learning. So if you were going to say, oh, I need to learn the logical operator of this particular programming language, it may vary from one programming language to the other, but the concept is exactly the same. How you apply it, it's exactly the same. The standard way of writing, or what we commonly call as the syntax, may be different, but the fundamental is exactly the same. If you're just gonna compare texts and manipulate them, it's exactly the same concept, but the syntax may be different. So that's the reason why you really need to learn the basic, the fundamentals, so that you can pick any language. Once you learn one, you can pick any of them, and you can just build that up through experience. Now, the third key advice: apply and practice. Now, that's the reason why I say do not learn all programming languages or multiple programming languages at once, only because just so you can filter and focus your time, learn and master one programming language before moving on to the other. And in order to do that and really get into the nitty-gritty of the fundamentals is by applying it. Get your hands dirty. Get on with it. Apply what you have seen. And once you get in, once you're comfortable, then start building a simple project that you can apply that programming language. For example, Python. If you want to learn Python, then start from the basic. Maybe you can just make a suggestion engine, for example, in just like Netflix, that will make a suggestion of the likelihood. That may be too complex, but pick something simple where you can apply the programming language. Or a perfect example, if you want to learn Visual Basic, pick Excel spreadsheet. There is a Visual Basic editor behind the back end of Excel, and you might say, hey, that's so basic. Well, that's exactly the point. Pick a very simple programming language and pick a tool that will allow you to apply that programming language, even if it means by just simply typing a word or calculating an addition or subtraction in Excel using Visual Basic. And that is in itself is applying and practicing what you learn. Because by practicing, it actually helps you retain the language and also get yourself more familiarized of the logic and how to do problem solving using that programming language. And once you are comfortable, only and only then you move on to the next programming language. Remember, being a programmer is not about a collection of programming languages. It's all about the expertise, the specialty that you can perform and you can demonstrate once you touch that programming language. And the thing is, you don't even need to memorize the syntax, because once you learn the fundamentals, you can just pick any syntax and you can just apply it. The fundamentals and the logic are very, very crucial. So remember that, again, it's not about the number of programming languages that you know. It's all about the quality of how you master each languages. Next one, the last but not the least, pretty simple, but it's one of the things that you really need to possess if you really want to be a programmer, and that is tenacity and perseverance. You see, troubleshooting code and learning new languages or a new computing language takes a lot of patience. Remember, this is not common English language, and if they do, some of them does not make sense grammatically. You really need to have that tenacity to apply, and once you are faced with a dead end, you need to be able to have a step back and get out from the box and just literally see it from a different perspective. And in order to do that is you need to keep persevering, because once you are learning a programming language, there will be times that you will be frustrated, because for one, it's either you are not quite exposed to the language, and two, you are still not quite fully 100% of what you're trying to do, and that's where the logic comes in. And in order to do that, exposure, practice, trial and error. And if you don't have the perseverance and the tenacity to do it, then programming may not be the career for you. So there you go, guys. That's my advice to any aspiring programmers and also to junior programmers. If you just started programming and you are quite new and you are still finding your feet, be patient, okay? It will take some time and you will get there. As long as you apply the 4 things that I shared to you, you will do perfectly just fine. Until next time, I hope you find this video helpful. Take care. Go now in peace, love, and light.